Hey everyone, it's Cindy again with another Copic tutorial for you. Today I'm using Flourish's Water Lily stamp set, which is all of these are separate stamps. I just used Post-it note to mask. I just put it right over my first stamped image and then stamped the additional images. I'm using Flourish's classic white cardstock again, which is fantastic for the Copics. And I'm going to start with the Poppy collection of Copics. There's actually 4 colors in there, but I'm not going to use the darkest one. I've got R20, R27, and R24 also. And then what I'm going to start with, just like I did before, is just color the whole petal fully. Today I'm hoping I'll teach you a few new things that I didn't show you in the last video. And hopefully this one is a little bit brighter. I have better lighting today. So, and we're straight on instead of sideways like yesterday. So I'm learning as I go. I hope you like it. Alrighty, I'm not going to color this whole thing in because for one thing, I don't want my ink to dry before I add my next color. So I'm going to go to the R24 and add in some darker areas where my shadows would be. This is a great stamp set. It shows you good places to shadow right on there. All those nice dark lines. Okay, and I don't like to get too far ahead of myself because I don't want it to dry. Alright, so then I'm going to go in circular motion here. Back again with my R20 and right over what I just did, and that will blend those colors. And it will lighten up a little bit the R24 as well. Just gives a nice soft blended look. And then I'm going to go in with one more red, and that's the R27, just where I want it the darkest. I want to keep this fairly light, so I'm not going to do too much of the dark. Alrighty. And this is a nice image because you can just go right over the whole thing very simply, just like that. Okay, so we've got some nice blending in there. Now, what I should have shown you first, I'll show you now, is the background. I'm going to do a water background, and I'm using what else but the water collection from Copic. This is BG11. And before I use that, I'm going to start with the BG13, and I'm going to do a nice line right around the edge. It's a lot easier to do this before you've colored your images in, especially when you're working with red. Red likes to bleed. Another tip is have a very light hand when you're doing this. If you're real heavy with your ink, it's going to saturate the paper more, and the more ink you get, the more it's going to want to bleed into the image that's next to it, which is not good when you have greens and reds and blues right next to each other like that. So you get the idea. So I just going around the very outside edge there, like so. That just lets these images pop a little bit. Then I'm going to the lighter color, which is BG11, and I'm going to just color. Now if I had a big open area to color the water, I would use my chisel tip and I would just color it like so. But because I'm working around images, I am going to just color with my sketch brush tip. Again, sketch markers are my favorite ones to use. The other thing to option for backgrounds is the airbrush system, which is on its way to me. So hopefully once I figure it out, I will have a tutorial for that as well. Alright, and a lot of people worry that this is going to come out uneven, but it's wonderful. If you work quickly, it all comes out nice and even. Okay, so you get the idea there. Now what I wanted to do, rather than just have my water look like this, I decided I wanted it to have some depth to it. So I'm taking my colorless blender, which is the clear marker that removes ink, and I am going to, I went back over this in circles very lightly, and you could also dab it here and there, but I don't want it to look too I don't know what the word is. I'm trying to get it to look more mottled than anything, kind of like the reflection of sunlight on the water. Okay, you can start to see that color's coming off. I do have a finished sample which really shows it well, which I will show you when I'm done here. Okay, so and another thing is if you get color where you don't want it to be, like say, pretend this is, I don't want any red on this petal. I will go in with my colorless blender and push that red back where it belongs and just get rid of it. And the Flourishes paper is the best I've ever seen for getting rid of the color. It does a really amazing job. It makes it really clean and gives you a fresh start. So, wonderful. Okay, then I'm going to go to the Spring Greens collection, and I'm starting with YG00, which actually looks like a yellow before you actually use it. And I'm going to color the whole thing with this. Same as always, lightest colors in the whole thing. I think that's the easiest way to do it. And then we'll go to the next color in the family, which is YG03. And I am making shadows. Okay. And again, I'm not very neat with this because I know I'm going to blend it in. I think I moved up too high there. Hopefully you didn't just miss all that. Okay, so I'll blend that in. And then I'm going to take the YG06, which is quite a bright color actually, and just right along the edge there. And again, blend that in. And then I'll go back over it with the YG03, which is the medium tone on the veins, just like that. So there's your green. So once you have all of your coloring done, I also did yellow in the center. I did Y11, which is from the Daffodil collection. And I went in and highlighted, or made my shadow areas, I should say, with the Y15 from the collection. And again, went over the lines. I can be a little messy sometimes when I'm in a hurry, but it's okay because my marker, my colorless blender, takes it all away. Alright, so that is what I've done there. Now I want to show you the finished product, which is this card right here. Isn't that pretty? And you can kind of see the mottled effect there of the water, and that's just done by taking the color right off, and it came out pretty good there. It shows up more as it dries. I want to show you these little pearls right here are just some Kaiser pearls, which you can get in the Flourishes store as well. And I used my C9 marker, Copic marker, and this is my little spot, you can tell where I color them. And I just colored those little pearls in, let them dry, and then you have black pearls. Isn't that great? And that's all from me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial, and I will see you again soon. See you later.